Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
cool. We're live. Hello.
Excellent.
I have the channel open so I
All
can
right.
do moderator things.
What? Why, hello.
Fancy.
Amazing.
Cool. I'm hosting. I'm hosting it, but I'm not going to do anything other than talk.
Cool. So yeah,
Nice.
for anyone that's out there, we're going to do session 0 of The End of Time. The campaign name is right. Our layout by Sagging Rufus. Right below.
Yeah.
You can see it right there. And we're pretty much just going to go over everyone's characters. We're going to make characters throughout this. I'm going to do a little bit of backstory, get everyone into the story, and then we'll get ourselves all set up for session 1. So, starting out, we're going to go over Behole's character. What did you choose for a character so far, Behole?
Excellent. Let me set the scene for you.
Over.
Blue sky, white puffy clouds, green rolling hills. A herd of sheep, is grazing on the hill, watched over by a simply clad half orc. He's approximately 6.5 feet tall, 300 pounds, kind of a big boy. He, placidly and calmly watches the sheep, and he has no real ambition in his life other than to enjoy life. He is married to a young half elf woman. He knows both of his parents, is on relatively good terms with them, and enjoys the simple life.
That's rare for a D&D character. Actually likes
It
his
is.
parents.
A simple
Yeah.
life. What?
Simple life too.
Yeah.
I like it.
Named by his orc raider mother. He is Madman Mega,
Nice.
and does his best to not live up to the name. However, when he gets mad, he gets really mad. Doesn't have any trouble defending his flock, so to speak. He is a barbarian, and the weapon of choice is a simple mace.
Nice. Cool. I like it. Nice backstory. So for anyone watching, we went and for as far as stats went, some of us rolled ahead of time. We did a ability roll 4d6, and then you minus one of the dice.
Yeah,
And
lowest
that house rule that you can have one be, I think it's 8, and then everything else has a 10 for lowest number possible. So yeah.
Okay. You want me to run through my skills real
Sure.
quick?
Run through your skills, run through all your stuff.
All right. Excellent. Madman Mega has a strength of 19, which is a 17 roll plus his racial +2 modifier.
Nice.
Uh,
That's a hell of a
he
lot of
gets- he
strength
has
for
a-
one.
Jeez.
Chunky.
He
Yeah.
has a 15 dexterity, 15 constitution, a 10 intelligence, 14 wisdom, and 9 charisma. In addition to looking like a half orc, he also smells pretty strongly of sheep.
Nice. Classic.
That doesn't smell too bad.
Nah.
Yeah.
There are worse things in the world.
Nothing like that old sheep smell.
Mm,
And he,
mm.
True.
Okay, cool.
as you can imagine, animal handling is pretty good. Survival's good. Nature's good. He's just he's a country boy at heart, in all of the good ways, and will basically do what needs to be done in order to protect his family, his friends, and his flock.
Nice. I like it. Nice little picture of Madman Mega. So we'll go with Rufus second. Rufus.
Okay, I don't have anything in my stats or anything like that yet, but I have the character. The character itself
Okay.
is very fleshed out. So
The most important
my
thing.
character's name is Sprocket Gleo, but he goes by Spaguglio.
Spaguglio.
Spaguglio is from a small island that is basically like, if you could picture the slums of Brooklyn with mobs and stuff, is basically where he's from, and he's kind of got like that accent, that angry fake Italian accent.
Of course.
Spaguglio is 200 years old. He's a rock gnome, so that's like middle-aged for
Yeah.
rock gnomes. He's from humble beginnings, and he started work as a plumber. And this is where I'm going to need to know the name of that liquid that I asked you to prepare.
Um,
Preparing illicit liquids already?
yeah,
I know, right?
Wow.
we call it aged fryer oil.
Extra credit for
Aged
you.
fryer oil.
Correct.
Gross.
So
Oh, ew.
he was working a job where he had to repair some pipes with some aged fryer oil, and there was a very big mishap, and he had a near-death experience, and he
Ugh.
decided that maybe plumbing was too dangerous. So he opened a restaurant, and it was very quickly regarded as the worst restaurant in all the land. But he's not one to give up, so he decided to sell his soul to a fiend, and this is how he became a warlock. But he sold his soul specifically to be a good chef and to make his restaurant thrive. So everything he does is for the good of this restaurant, where the reviews are literally written on the stone outside of his restaurant that are all
Nice.
terrible. They're basically just bad Yelp reviews outside the restaurant. But
Wow.
That sounds amazing.
because he has people employed and he's not one to quit, he's not going to let this restaurant fail. So he's adventuring to make money to send back to the restaurant to keep everybody employed.
Wow.
That's more or less Spaguglio in a nutshell.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
I like it. I like it.
I do too.
The Warlock Restaurateur.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Cool. Well, then while you get all your stats
Fantastic.
rolled and whatnot, we'll move on to the next one. It's Daisy. What we got?
Hi. Yeah. SMC87 or Stacy, as the internet likes to call me by, whatever you prefer. So I have a pretty good idea of a character. I still need to roll my stats. But my character is also on the beefier side. She is a Goliath. Her name is Kiva Fear. And she's kind of a loner. She's kind of been spending most of her time wandering from town to town, city to city, and out in the wilderness, studying the stars. She finds she's like her greatest goal in life is to just uncover the mysteries of the stars and share that world. So she's a little bit airheady, but she does have a lot of like knowledge. She's very much like a sage-like person. So as a Goliath, she stands pretty tall, and she has kind of like grayish hair. She's got like gray flecks and some dark hair. She's a little more mature than most. And she has some Goliath tattoos on her face, some tribal like stripes that go across.
Nice.
And she is just a very humble traveler.
I like it. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, Dins, you need us to roll out some stats first, or you got a good idea?
Oh
You're
no,
gonna
no,
get
yeah,
started?
I don't
Okay.
have any idea yet. No.
Okay.
no.
Okay. Okay. So we'll.
I did roll out my stats over in the server.
Nice.
So they're fine. They
Cool.
exist.
Cool. So I guess we'll have everyone roll out stats while Dins is going through his stuff.
So
What up?
we have our friendly Goliath, our friendly half orc, and our friendly gnome.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Well,
A
let's-
druid,
sorry,
a barbarian, and a warlock.
Yeah.
Casey, what was Kiva's class, or what was her job?
Druid. She's a druid.
Thank you.
Druid.
She's kind of just a sage. So she doesn't necessarily have a job. She just kind of survives off the land and travels around.
Sure.
Nice.
You ask my barbarian what he does for a living. He says he's a shepherd. So
Nice.
There you go.
You guys will be best friends.
Yeah. Then you got our gnome cook, restaurateur.
Yeah.
warlock.
He's very
None of
grumpy.
us are what we seem.
He's an old
Correct.
grumpy gnome.
Well, yeah. With a name like Spaguglio, you're going to be a grumpy gnome. Come from the continent of Little Italy.
Exactly. This guy knows.
This guy. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I got some good rolls, some not as good rolls.
Some good and some not as good. I like it. I like it. You gotta have, bad roles build character.
Yeah.
That's how you get a really nice fleshed out character.
By how many flaws they have.
Exactly. Just straight 10s and 1/8. That's what I'm talking about.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, I wanted to.
All right.
Yeah, Dins, your rolls
Those
aren't
stats
great,
are
but they're not
pretty
terrible.
Okay, so I ended up with 8 strength, 12 dex, 13 con, 11 int, 11 wisdom, and 17 charisma.
Okay. So I like it. I like it.
At least I got one good one.
All right.
Okay. I ended up with, well, I need to add some other modifiers for all of my class and race features, but I rolled a 13 for strength, 12 for dex, 11 for con, 16 for intelligence, 14 for wisdom, and 11 for charisma.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad.
I like it.
I'm feeling a really timid, nervous sort of character.
I
Surrounded
like it.
by all these confident, stargazing, shepherding, communing with eldritch monstrosity, someone just very, very unsure of themselves, just sort of fresh out in the world. Everything is dangerous and scary.
Aw.
I like it. It really rounds out the group
Yeah.
because you got like your two mellow people, and then you got your angry gnome, and then you got this mellow person. So you got like this like timid person.
Well, hopefully my
Yeah.
character stays mellow if I can stay in character.
Right.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah,
And this is
Mega
why I
stays
wanted to
mellow
wait till tonight to
until he
build her.
doesn't.
Exactly. Traditional barbarian. Angry, not angry until he's angry.
Isn't that so true of each of us?
Angry until
No.
not angry until you're angry.
Angry. Yeah.
Oh no, I gotta buy a background. Hold on.
Do you? Do you really?
It sounds like we don't have charlatan. Yeah, I gotta be a charlatan.
I have to find a way to be able to easily get the bot playing music while keeping everyone's webcams up.
Oh yeah, that's if the bot's gonna join the channel, it's gonna ruin everything.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So we're not going to do music in the Discord. I'm going to have some up on my stream, but not going to do it tonight. But I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Cool.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's what Session Zero's for. Figuring stuff out. Okay, so we have stats rolled.
Actually, I don't have to buy it. I have the player's handbook. I can just do a custom one.
You could. Right there.
There you go.
It's right here. I didn't steal it.
You didn't steal it. I
Go
don't
back
have the
to
player's
Wizards.
handbook next to me. I just have these two.
It's right here.
Which I think, yeah.
Yeah, well, I know all your tricks.
Do you, though? Do
You can
you?
read backwards. You'll know what this says.
Ooh.
Dungeon Master's guy. He knows everything.
He knows all the secrets.
All the secrets.
There's actually no campaign here. He's just going through the Dungeon Master guide.
Yeah.
Piece by piece.
Yeah, you're not supposed to know that, but yeah, 100%. Dookie.
Okay, so I guess I'll give you guys a little bit. If you guys don't know, charlatans are people who trick people, and I just honestly believe that that's what a grumpy old gnome from fake Brooklyn is. He's very deceptive, and mean.
I'd agree.
let's see. What's my favorite scheme? I like rolling for these because why not? I cheat at games of chance. I like
Nice.
rolling dice.
What's your dex
Oh,
modifier?
shit.
What's my dex modifier?
What's your sleight of hand there?
My dex is a 12, so +1.
Nice.
Okay. It's not 0.
Right, so you're
I didn't say I
slightly
was
better than
good at
average.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't say I was good at cheating.
Gets caught
It's the
90% of the
thrill
time.
more than the victory.
It's about the rush.
Exactly. And what else? I gotta write these, keep track of these rolls. Sarcasm and insults are my weapon of choice. That's actually perfect for
Yeah,
this
no, that
character.
fits amazingly.
Cheats.
Sarcasm, insults.
I'm a free spirit. No one tells me what to do. Yeah, that's pretty spot on. Somewhere out there, I have a child who doesn't know me.
Oh, well then.
Well, I can work with that.
That's the reason why I have this restaurant. It's because of that child.
Well, of course.
And then my flaw. I hate to admit it, and I will hate myself for it, but I'll run and preserve my own hide if the going gets tough because I have a kid in a restaurant to support.
Nice.
A
This
kid
is
that
gonna be
doesn't
fun,
know
I can
you.
tell.
This is why I like rolling for these.
Well, yeah.
Oh man.
Helps, build out the character.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
Okay, so where's this gonna go? Personality traits.
Spago, your personality.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's got to be a spot I can copy and paste these from. I don't want to type all that.
Yeah,
Oh, you
probably
can totally copy and paste them from
course.
either D&D Beyond or elsewhere. They're usually pretty.
I'd have to think. I think I have to buy it on D&D Beyond. I think I have to buy the player's handbook again.
Do you? I don't think you do for the traits.
I don't
I've
think
always
so. I
had
mean, if you're
access
just
to-
looking at backgrounds, if you just like do a quick search for like background charlatan 5e, it like pops right up. Because I did the same thing for Sage and I got everything.
Yeah, so I guess that's true. I could just buy that background. That is true.
Also, if you wanted to do like custom, you always could find it and copy and paste it.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
speaking of Sage, if y'all wanted the details about being a Sage,
Of course.
Oh yeah.
I guess I
100%.
can outline those real quick. Sweet. So, Sage, you spent years learning the lore of the multiverse. You scoured manuscripts, studied scrolls, and listened to the greatest experts on the subjects that interest you. Your efforts have made you a master in your field of study. So, in Kiva's case, she is an astronomer. Astronomer, astrologer. Hey, you
Nice.
know what? It's close enough. She's willing to listen to every side of an argument before making her own judgments. And she's used to helping out those who aren't as smart as she is and patiently explain anything and everything to others. Her ideals are knowledge. Huh?
I said, here, that beehole, you'll be fine. She'll explain things really slowly.
Yes, I'll outline it. I'll be very calm, very collected. That's the goal anyway. Ideals are knowledge. The path to power and self-improvement is through knowledge. Her bonds are her life's work is a series of tomes related to a specific field of lore. In this case, the realm of the stars. And her flaws are most people scream and run when they see a demon. I stop and take notes on its anatomy.
Nice. I love
Like
it.
it.
Yeah. That's Kiva for you.
Nice. The astronomer, astrologer, druid, sage.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
I think
Just a girl with her big feet on the ground.
Do you think, Din? Do you think?
therefore I am.
Yeah,
Exactly.
What do you think?
Therefore, I am.
Mm.
I'm thinking probably a rogue.
Ooh,
Ooh, sneaky.
yeah.
Nice.
A timid
Be a
rogue.
sneak.
Interesting.
That was my
Yeah.
second choice if I didn't do Warlock. I was going to do an Arcane Trickster Gnome.
Oh, nice,
Rogue.
nice. Well, it's
Yeah.
okay. We don't get.
You could be a bashful little anxious rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
have a
looking.
friend
I'm
who
looking.
plays a bashful anxious rogue.
Yeah, I'm looking at the. Not that this would come online until level 3, should she survive that long, but level 3 with the archetype. I'm looking at Scout, and
I do like
there's
Scout.
a skirmisher that's like the skirmisher feature, which is as a reaction when an enemy ends its turn within 5 feet of you, you can like skitter away.
Yeah. and it's
Yeah.
So
half
like
your
it's
movement,
perfect.
right? Yeah.
It's perfect.
Nice.
Scout's a lot of
I
fun.
love it.
It fits the character perfectly. You just run away from everything that gets near you.
You're like, oh, no.
Yeah. Just a little scamper.
I like it.
Yeah,
Why would you run away from danger? It's like a sheep. You just grab it and you throw it on the ground.
There you go.
It's okay. I run away from sheep too.
Oh, this is gonna be such a little wholesome character.
Okay, so
Runs
I have
away
I think
proficiency-
Tiva's gonna have to protect
how-
them at all costs.
I'm not sold on this yet. How do we feel about Goblin?
I
I mean,
Love
I'm behind it.
goblin
We'll
characters.
just have these really tall people and these really small people.
I mean, that explains why he's so skittish, because typically in a D&D world, monstrous races are quite frowned upon, so it would make sense that a goblin is just always scared of
Mhm,
Yeah.
everything.
mhm.
I kind of like it.
I
you know,
love it
in a
because
non-dangerous world.
there's also going to be a good amount of elves in the campaign, like hoity-toity
Oh
elves.
shit.
So it adds a little extra
Oh.
factor to the whole. Maybe you don't always want to show you're a goblin. Maybe you do because you're proud of it, kind of thing. Because there are definitely
And I like
there's some
you're very
elves.
timid and you're not just drist.
Yeah,
I really like that.
the non-dressed rogue.
Yeah.
Why would I be Drist? That's silly.
Everyone who always
You want to
plays,
be
like,
a dark
trap
elf?
monstrous race, they always want to be drist, who's just like, I'm the good one though. Instead, you're just like, "I'm just
No,
good."
my favorite monstrous race is it's treated as monstrous race is Tiefling.
Yes. Tieflings are always fun.
Mm-hmm.
In the campaign that I'm DMing, like half of my party that my players are playing are tieflings.
Wow.
So I had to rewrite a little bit of the land's history on the fly.
Yeah.
Like, why do we have so many tieflings? It's like let's make tiefling kind of the main,
The main
other race in
Nice.
the area.
Yeah, no, I
I have to
The
see if
land is
there's
populated
actually-
with nothing.
Nothing but tieflings.
The land is populated with nothing but people, and here in comes a bunch of people with horns and tails.
And they all lived happily ever after. Or
Yeah,
did
right.
they?
They'd be happy as long as they didn't go to Spaguglio's restaurant.
It's true. Hey, I have a
Hey,
feeling.
hey.
I have a feeling we're getting Spaguglio's big break. It's gonna happen at some point. Who knows?
The real question is, do I go with the leather armor or the second weapon?
For Warlock, do you want a second weapon?
I don't know. I went with spear for my first weapon.
Armor.
I like it.
Who wears armor?
Who wears armor?
I didn't even see leather armor in this drop down. Wait. Oh, no, I get both. Leather armor, any simple
Yeah, I think you
weapon,
get
and 2 daggers. Yes!
Both. So you end up with 3
Yeah.
weapons actually because you have the 2 daggers. Yeah.
Cool. So, I'm going to tell you now, my spear, for flavor's sake, is actually one of those, like, 2-pronged, like, forks that you use to carve a chicken with.
I like it. Like one of the, like extra long
Beautiful.
handle.
Yeah. And the daggers are chef's knives.
Of course. Little tiny chef knives.
And I'm going to take a great club as the second weapon, but it's actually a ladle.
I like it. Entirely kitchen themed.
Excellent.
Did you make it out of clay?
No, Dins, that's a dreidel.
Yeah.
My mistake.
I was like, what? Wait, what? Okay.
Same thing.
My quarterstaff has a shepherd hook on the end of it.
Nice. That makes sense. Oh, Discord. Nice.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh yeah, Stacy said that, and everything's messed up. Stacy said
It's fine.
she needs to do a quick restart.
Sure.
Maybe
Oh.
Aarakocra.
Damn it.
It'll come back. Everyone just is like partially there.
oh,
Hey.
Now we've changed. Wait a minute. I got this. I can do this.
No.
Did
No,
you say-
it's because the video's off. Once the
Oh,
video
okay.
comes back on.
Everything's gonna be fine. Well, currently, Rufus, you're Stacy. Okay, now we're back.
That's okay. I'll be
Switch.
Stacy.
I'm
do it.
sorry.
It's all good.
I remained in stale.
yeah.
Everyone else remained the same.
Because I
James,
got
did you ask
started.
about the Akokra?
Yeah, Aarakocra would also work. You know,
Okay, that's the bird, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the
bird
eagle-ish
species.
bird
Yeah.
as opposed
Yeah.
to the crowish bird.
Yeah.
So
That would
because
work.
I picked starting equipment, I don't get money, right?
Correct.
You will get some.
You do
money.
get some money.
Well,
Well,
depends-
from the
depending
background.
on the. Yeah.
Depends on the
From the
background,
background.
and maybe you have like just a couple starting gold because you've been doing stuff, or maybe you actually have negative gold because your restaurant's failing. You're actually
And
dead.
could be. That could be. I didn't realize you were going with the Acquisitions Incorporated add-on here.
Ooh, it's that kind of campaign.
Yeah. To be fair, when it asked how I lived, I did pick poor.
There you go.
All of it goes to your kid and your restaurant. It's understandable.
Oh man.
Why? Wait.
What?
Why don't I have any weapons on this character sheet? I picked weapons.
If you look, I think you need to go to equipment.
Oh, I gotta actually equip it.
You go to
Yes, you
equipment,
do.
click on it, and you'll be like,
Oh,
sure.
there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
And great club. Boom. Okay, there we
He's armed to the teeth with kitchen utensils.
A
Don't mess with
giant
Spook.
ladle shall be his weapon.
So question regarding like level up and character progression. Are we doing milestone? Are we doing XP?
Mm,
Milestone.
Are we doing
Cool.
fixed HP gain, rolled HP gain, or choice?
I do rolled HP, but if it's lower than the median, then just take the median. So you could get
Okay.
more, but you also
Okay.
could just get average.
Right.
Okay.
I have a question about how this all fits together. So we're playing in Foundry.
Correct.
Have D&D Beyond. So if do I track my healing on my character sheet in D&D Beyond, and does
Yes.
that actually does that hit Foundry
Yes.
at all?
So the way it works is what'll happen next session, or actually between the sessions, because all your characters will be on there. I open up Foundry, I import all your characters in. You'll connect next session to your character specifically, and then you just monitor everything on D&D Beyond, and it'll just transfer over.
Okay,
Gotcha.
perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Gotcha. Ooh, I probably need to pick some spells.
That would be important. Rufus as well. Right? Do you get spells at 1 as a warlock? Or no?
Hell,
Well, I think there was nothing in the character creator for me to pick them.
The character creator is like weird when it comes to picking spells. I always just do it manually because
Yeah.
I don't like the way
Yeah.
D&D Beyond does
Oh.
it personally.
Is
I think-
weird.
Well, I guess the thing is, I don't think I pick spells. I don't prepare them. I think I just have these X spells,
Well, you do learn
Mhm.
certain spells.
but I don't think I get to pick at all. Because
good
I
question.
picked Fiend. So wait, Fiends lets you choose from an expanded list of spells.
Yeah, because you have
to
pact.
Learn Warlock spells. Okay, when do I learn Warlock spells? First
Should be-
level, I know 2 spells.
It should be
And I
two
only-
cantrips.
There you go.
Okay. Why do that?
I believe you can learn 2 cantrips and 2 first level at first level.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I was
usually how it
looking
goes.
Cantrips at first
Spells, here
level.
we go. First level. Manage spells. Add spell. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay,
Here we go.
cool.
Here
Now
we
here's where
go.
I get to learn them.
Let's go. 'Cause you have pact.
Okay.
Should be.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now here's where I get to learn them.
Let's go.
Okay.
Do you use
It's
burning
me,
hands to cook your
Spagoogle.
stuff? Is that how you heat up your pots and stuff? Just burning hands?
Maybe.
I'd respect
I
it.
might- I think I'm gonna have to go by Warlock. Because I don't
I
have
don't
burning
think-
hands.
Mm.
Alright. Did you just learn burning hands?
I didn't do anything yet.
Do you? If you go into your spells, though, do you see that you've
Oh.
learned burning hands?
No.
Damn it.
Why did you just try to give it to me?
Yeah, I just tried to give it to you.
Oh, 1 sec. I'll try again. I already had it open.
Give me a second. Okay, so I hit it. I hit it again. If you
Yeah,
refresh,
I just hit refresh and it's thinking. It's thinking real hard.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna be taking Druidcraft as a
Hey, I know
cantrip.
burning hands.
nice.
Perfect.
Okay, so I think I can give you
Mhm.
certain things. I can just hit learn on my side, and then you should be able to cast it.
Okay. Oh, cool.
that's
And
convenient.
okay. Oh crap. I just removed it, but it stayed. It's still there on my selection screen.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I'm the DM. I override all your selections.
So I can know 2 spells and 2 cantrips.
Correct.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm gonna take Druidcraft, and I think. And I think I'm gonna do Guidance.
I'm not gonna do the shitty
I like it.
thing and take Eldritch Blast and be that dude who just rides on his imp really far away and uses Eldritch Blast. I'm not doing that.
No classic warlock move.
Why not? Why not?
I played in
Yeah.
a campaign once where somebody did that and it just broke everything.
Just
It's like, okay, I fly.
lean into it.
Yeah, lean into the warlock.
Just be a stereotype. It'll be great.
I fly 700 feet in the air and cast Eldritch Blast. Cool.
It's when you just give every monster the ability to stop flying, just straight up, just make a specific custom spell. You can't fly. No.
Oh, it was so aggravating because it's like the whole party is dying and you're just flying further away and continue to cast Eldritch Blast.
Right.
This is so fun.
See you later, suckers.
Yeah, later, nerds.
Okay, I'm for sure taking Fairy Fire as a first level spell.
Oh, of course. Classic druid.
That one seems obvious given everything about Kiva. Now the hardest thing about being a spellcaster is deciding whether or not you're going to be a gracious spellcaster and take things that will help people, or if you're going to be one of those blasty, no hold backsy kind of
Very true.
spellcasters that just doesn't care about anybody.
It'd be
It's
cool
just
if
gonna hit
somebody
shit.
knew detect magic because I can't. I don't
I
have
mean,
that.
ooh, I could. Well, how is
Can you
my
can you be a
Arcana?
blaster?
Oh, I
druid?
have a +5 to Arcana. I'll just do an
Oh,
Arcana
yeah.
check if I
Yeah,
have to.
yeah,
We're
that's fine.
fine.
Yeah.
Fine. We don't need detect magic. We're good.
Whew, that was
Mm.
close. I was scared there for a minute.
Yeah, no, I'm magical as hell. It's great.
Nice.
Uh,
What do you think for your cantrips, Rufus?
Well, I'm thinking Booming Blade.
That's a fun one. That's like the 5-foot radius all around you, right?
Yeah, it's very similar to Sword Burst, which is also that.
Okay.
Booming Blade, I think does thunder damage. I remember
1d8
correctly.
thunder. Yeah, thunder damage.
I think that's just it. Yeah, 1d8 thunder damage, and Sword Burst is similar, except it's 1d6 force. So it's just a
okay.
better Sword Burst.
Mm.
Unless
I think
it's
for my
immune-
spell, I'll take hit them with my mace.
A most excellent choice.
They went with
What's
Booming
great
Blade
about-
remind-
Strength-based spell.
What's great about that is you have unlimited spell slots.
That's right.
All the spell slots.
5-foot range, though.
Yeah, gotta be up close and personal.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
If to touch itself
Yeah, just like Wild
over
Tour, it's
and
fine.
over and over again.
What can happen with 11 armor class and 10 HP walking up to something?
Hey, what
Nothing.
could happen?
Nothing. It's fine.
So yeah, we ended up going with Booming Blade and Minor Illusion
Nice.
because that's how he cheats at gambling. I've decided it's Minor Illusion
Classic. Classic.
because now I don't
Cool.
have to worry about sleight of hand checks. I
Right.
can just Minor Illusion it.
There you go. I think so. For first level spells, I think we're gonna do Fairy Fire and Create and Destroy Water. I think that one makes the most sense
I like it.
for Kiva. Yeah.
There you go.
So she's out and about in the wilderness. It's best to just make your own water instead of pure. So
Right? Don't have to worry about it. It's right there.
and I've seen that used pretty creatively, so I think we could have some fun with it.
Oh, yeah. Dins, how's it going?
I hope
Going
someone
good.
knows like
Going good.
healing potions here.
Trying to figure out.
Nobody gets healing. Yeah, no, we're probably have some healing potions. It's fine.
Oh yeah, we're going hellish
Apologies,
rebuke.
Din.
Hellish rebuke. Nice.
Like, Din, if you were going to say something, I interrupted. My bad.
Oh no, I think I'm just about done making the character. I just need to figure out what her name is going to be.
The moment of truth, naming.
The hardest part of making a character.
Right?
Basically,
Unless you're
with an
Rufus
yeah.
and me, and all your characters are named the same thing.
Spagoo
Yeah.
and Madman Mega.
I mean, it's hard not to when you've always played the same character to you just know them so well. Like it doesn't. I can make up
Yeah.
a different background story every time, but he's just always an old grumpy guy.
Yeah.
Like, you
Random
just kinda
race.
settle into that.
Random class. Just old and grumpy.
Like
Wow.
I've played this as a rogue, a warlock, barbarian's harder, but
You can be a grumpy barbarian.
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The short little gnome barbarian just isn't as cool.
Well, no, you got to play different
I
race
don't
for that
know.
one.
Like gnome barbarians are vicious. And I
That's
think
true.
they're hilarious.
I was gonna say
personally.
my 14-year-old son plays a gnome barbarian, and he's vicious.
They'll bite your ankles.
Uh-huh.
Also, I took the tinkerer thing, so I can tinker with things, which is why all
Nice.
my
Ooh,
weapons
perfect.
are kitchen utensils.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, I think I took an herbalism kit. I think I have one of those.
Nice.
So that will be good for something. It's not a medicine kit, but it's a
But
kit
still,
for
like,
other
yeah.
things.
Herbs are useful.
I've never been one to play like a support character. I myself am like a very smashy, let's just go punch shit kind of a person. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to branch out a little bit with Kiva, but we're doing like baby steps,
Right.
steps.
Right.
So what you're saying is, when push comes to shove, you'll fall back on instinct and wade in and just hammer on things.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the reasons I
Yeah.
chose a Goliath is because I have a terrible amount of strength just naturally. I think I like my bonus. So I can't remember what my initial roll was, but now I have a 15, so I get a +2 to my strength, which is pretty junky.
Yeah, no, that's especially as a druid. Having
Mhm.
just
Did anybody
15
try
strength.
the roll feature?
in D&D Beyond.
I did.
It's so
Oh no,
it's so
on D&D
lag.
Beyond, no.
It's so lag. I clicked it and the dice went like,
Doo-doo. Yeah.
Oh, mine is pretty good. Mine is pretty smooth.
Let's see. Oh, I would find too.
oh man, you can choose
Mine,
maybe
mine works fine.
it's Canada stuff.
Yeah, it's all
Maybe
Canada
it is
stuff.
Canada. We're Canada. We're Canada.
Oh, you're Canada too?
I'm not Canada, but I have plenty of Canadian friends who tell tragic tales about the internet.
Yeah.
Tragic
Where I live,
Canadian internet.
What a
like a-
struggle bus it lives on.
There's a crap ton of people where I live who don't even get 2 megabits. It's quite
Oof.
sad.
That sounds
Yeah.
sad.
Oof. Yeah. So you're a druid with all that strength, and Shillelagh is not one of your spells? Ugh.
Well, I don't need it.
Right, you already got the
I
strength.
don't need like I already have strength. I have my own strength, so I don't need to bank on something else.
I don't have my own strength. That's why I'm a warlock. I rely on my patron. I use all my strength.
Oh,
to
that's true. I didn't fully read the Shillelagh spell.
Yeah. So what it does is it just changes your modifier, and I'm like, well, my strength modifier is
Yeah.
already fine.
So
So
who needs
otherwise, I
Shillelagh?
totally would have taken Shillelagh because I appreciate a good Shillelagh. But like, just because I'm like Kiva's gonna be beefy, she doesn't need it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
So when all else fails, I'll hold them and you punch.
Yes, absolutely. Kiva will be down for this.
And Rufus will
And then
summon an imp,
she'll-
fly in the air, and cast Eldritch Blast.
We now have a way of making money.
Yeah.
I think I'm good. How do you want me to share this character sheet with you? Like, just copy it, the shareable link from D&D Beyond?
Let me give you the link to the campaign. Or actually, so what you should do is, if you can save your character, I'll give you the link to the campaign, and then you can add it to the campaign.
Mhm. It's gonna look a little bit weird on the stream for a second because I got posts in the Discord, but it's there.
Thank you.
No problem.
I still don't see Stacy's camera for some reason.
On the stream?
Oh,
You-
really?
You're gonna need to like click into Discord and click on her face because sometimes Discord is like you didn't want to see this video, right? And will not show it until you click on it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Discord.
I know.
You don't want to see this, right? No.
My face is not worth seeing, but no, I don't think.
Eric Cochran Rogue. I like it.
I'm excited.
Her name is Crealis.
There we go.
Crealis!
I got it.
I love it.
Crealis, nice.
She's a nervous bird.
Oh.
At some point, I'll figure out what exactly she looks
I'm
like.
already determined to protect her with my giant self.
I feel like, in terms of like what flavor bird, I'm feeling something like a pygmy owl.
I like it.
I love it.
My little heart is gonna explode. It's a bird of the night too. Kiva's gonna love it.
Everyone's
Alright,
going to be
I'm getting
friends.
excited.
Yeah, the best part
Or
is
Everyone's
Spaguglia.
she can't see in the dark though.
Oh no!
That's right. They don't have
I
dark
can.
vision.
I don't think Kiva can either.
I don't think-
technically.
Oh, that's
Goliaths
true.
have dark
Can't.
vision either.
Mm-mm.
I know half orcs do, and I think
No.
gnomes might. Rock gnomes might.
No, I don't think gnomes do.
Yeah,
Rock gnomes?
Goliaths don't.
Rock
I don't
gnomes
think.
do.
Where's that in traits?
I'm
Dark
99%
vision.
yeah,
sure
all
rock
gnomes.
gnomes
Yeah,
have.
all gnomes
Oh
do.
yeah,
All
I
gnomes do.
have dark vision. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm making my character portrait, so I'm happier.
Nice.
I'm gonna try to find like a placeholder image for now for
Sure.
her portrait. But like,
Yeah, I'm still
just-
working on finding mine. I'm finding a portrait of female Goliaths is really hit or miss.
So the cool thing is you can go to Hero Forge and make a mini, and then
That's
you can
true.
you can export a token that way.
That's true.
True.
Also, Stacy, I can like if you need a placeholder, I can get a crop of. I played a female Goliath at one point, and I can send you like a shot of
course you
her
did.
face. Of course, I
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
We'll talk about it.
did. Yeah.
It's grand.
Mhm.
I know, because there's plenty of female Goliaths that are like these giant mace or axe wielding people, and I'm like, that's not quite what I'm going for. Thank you, internet.
So yeah, and then once everyone has their character portrait too, the overlay for D&D Beyond on Twitch is actually cool. You can just scroll over, see everyone's health and their portrait. That'll be more for next week.
Ooh.
I only have Beholes because his was ready to go as like a placeholder. It's like a testing out the overlay a little bit.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah. Should be cool. Okay, so guess I'll have your characters. Do you know anything about
I believe so.
Crealis's backstory a little bit? Just a little bit.
A little bit, a
Okay.
little bit. I went with the far traveler background because I feel like she's just very far from home. I imagine. Okay, so things are coming together. I don't know much about the world, so you tell me if like any of this just
Oh,
doesn't
sure.
work. But I feel like she ended up as an egg. Just the egg traveled very far from home, and so she was like hatched without anyone really around, and so everything is terrifying when you're trying to survive on your own from the time you are born, right?
Right.
And apparently Aarakocra only lived to be like 30.
Yeah,
Like,
they
they're-
Oh, I
die
didn't
super
realize
young.
that.
Yeah.
they mature by
Oh,
3
no.
and they live until they're 30. So
Yeah.
Oh no, so you're just a little baby.
yeah. And so it's just a matter of like there's this just which maybe we should talk at some point now or later
Sure.
regarding like languages known, because if this is the case, then she doesn't know Aarakocran or Auran.
That's true. She wouldn't
Oh.
know
It would be whatever
normal.
is
Yeah.
Probably
around.
just common.
Well,
Yeah.
common, and then whatever else, and we'll figure that out.
Did she grow up
Um,
near any civilization, or did she just pretty much go?
I imagine so. I imagine so. I feel like
I mean, there's like a tiny,
the-
adorable owl. Someone's gonna try and take her and help her at least a little bit.
Yeah.
I imagine.
And I feel like the area maybe Aarakocra aren't known or
Okay.
like not well,
I can
and
go with
so
that,
it's
yeah.
like, oh, there's this bird, and then wait, they're getting a little bigger than birds normally get, and they're
They can
speaking,
talk.
they're actually communicating, and so this is like definitely a if you will fish out of water sort of experience where no one knows where she came from.
Right.
Oh no.
And
I
so
love
once she's
it.
able to, she just starts to like, well, I'm just gonna, okay, bye. I don't belong here. Bye.
Right.
And has been like traveling for a few years on her own, just getting by, getting around, trying to figure out what she is and where she's from.
Nice. I can work with that. I can definitely work with that.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, because now that we're kind of talking briefly about languages,
Yeah.
is it worth it? Because as a sage, I get two extra languages that I know.
Sounds right.
Yeah, so I obviously have giant and druidic, common, but then is it going to be useful if I know Sylvan?
Yes, actually,
Okay.
there definitely should be some Sylvan.
Okay.
And you, yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think, common, druidic, giant, Sylvan. Because I think the giant comes with my race, the druidic comes with my class, and then I get two more. I apparently know a lot of languages, I
Yeah.
think, unless you want me to cut back on these.
No, I mean that's fine.
So Sylvan, and then I also chose Celestial, because that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense with like a
Being an
druid, and also
astrologer and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, being all up in the stars. So yeah, I know a lot
Yeah.
of languages.
that's great. It makes it easier. You'll be able to understand more people. Won't have to be like, does
Yeah.
anyone know this? Because you know it.
Yeah, because I know it. I'm gonna know a lot of things. I
Yeah.
rolled really high on my intelligence score, so this is gonna be fascinating.
That's great. I like it. Okay, well, since we're all set, let's all get a little bit of backstory on this wonderful world that everyone is part of. So, you are all, I mean, at the moment, you're all kind of spread apart and doing your own thing. Spaguglio with his restaurant, Madman just kind of with his herd of sheep. have Krialis just wandering the world, kind of trying to find a place where she fits in. Then we have Kiyomi just kind of looking at the stars somewhere, trying to study the way, like, the stars and what they know. So, for backstory, the world is pretty well developed. It's pretty old. Where it's a pretty old world. It's fantasy, but like moved forward a little bit. It is still like a fantasy background. There are no like machines or anything like that, but there are your traditional fantasy, maybe some firearms, as far as like that kind of advancement in the world. Everyone would know that there's like one big major city that kind of controls everything almost. There's like the one big continent and city that I wouldn't say controls, but is like the higher up area. They have like a big army that goes out to aid everyone that needs it and whatnot. Alera, which is going to be where you're going to be going, is actually the last discovered continent on the planet, called the Land Out of Time. Hint, hint, the name of the thing, the End of Time. But yeah, Alera is called the Land Out of Time because when it was discovered, most of the other places had been like pretty well colonized and whatnot, but Alera was like this untamed land with dragons and beasts. There are dragons in the rest of the world, but we're talking like most of it was dragons that kind of scoured the land. So a long time ago, there was a conflict. 3 major races went there: elves, dwarves, and humans. They tried to be peaceful. There was a group of dragons that didn't like them. There was a group of dragons that did. There was a really bloody battle. Eventually it was tamed, and they kind of all spread out. Moving forward a little while, the 3 races had their issues in Alera, but as they settled them, they all got their different pieces of land and whatnot. Everyone was all okay. Now, as far as you guys know, Alera, known to the major world, is actually a pretty cool tourist attraction. It's this land at a time. There's all these cool little things, Maybe you can go see the old draconic ruins of Flen or something kind of cool like that. That's all that you would know about the land. Now, zoom in more on, I'm going to go character by character here to kind of bring you guys together. I'm going to start with Spaguglio.
Oh yeah.
So, zoom in on you. You're in your struggling restaurant you're in a struggling restaurant and kind of having a hard time. You have a couple employees. One of them, Giovanni, he's your right-hand man. He tries to help out all the time. So it's like midday out in Little Italy. You can kind of hear some yelling conversations happening outside between people, as you usually can. It's not a very quiet place. And in busts Giovanni. Spaguglio! Spaguglio! I found it! I found the secret.
What?
I found what I've been looking for. The secret ingredient. The best ingredient that'll help us get off of our... Oh, okay.
Not so loud.
Okay. Should we go into the back
Competition's
room?
up there.
Go into the back room?
Yes.
Okay. So, 2 of you go into your back room. It's an Italian restaurant. So you got your normal like butcher's table and you got all that kind of stuff. You guys go back there and he kind of looks over and is like, "Okay, I found out where the ingredient is. The best ingredient that we could ever get.
With it.
It's apparently in Alera. You know that land?"
No.
You have a basic idea of it, but yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Well, let me just say, it came to me in a dream that it is in Alera. Trust me, though, it's for real.
Again with these dreams.
Now, to be fair, Giovanni has had many dreams, and none of them have led you astray so far. They haven't been.
I don't know if I'm gonna go trust in dreams, but you've never led me astray before.
I know, and I've got this one. Now, a little backstory on Giovanni. He's your right-hand man. All he ever wants is for you to name like a sandwich after him, but you refuse until he gives you the best ingredient.
Okay. You were right about taking the calzones off the menu, so
Oh, of course.
we'll go.
No one wants calzones in Little Italy. They're everywhere. That's why no one wants them.
We're not
Yeah.
wasting less food, so
So,
we'll go.
so you know I know you know your way around a ladle and how to knock someone out if necessary. I know that. So I have the perfect plan to get you to Alera for cheap, since we don't have a lot of money.
We're not gonna ride on a ladle.
Well, no, we're not gonna ride on a ladle. Don't worry. There's the group of there's an army of the main. Well, not really an army. Essentially, there's the group called the Horizon Walkers are recruiting us, or recruiting people for free to go to Alera. I say we piggyback on that, get over to Alera, and then do our own thing. The Horizon Walkers, if you don't know, are the group of scouts from the main city. They're going up there.
Talking to them yet?
I have this flyer, and he just hands out a flyer that just says, it's like a "We Want You" style almost
Okay.
kind of flyer.
You know, if we play our cards right, maybe we can end up catering for these highway walkers or whatever
Who
you
knows?
call them.
Horizon Walker. Horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it.
Okay. And so you all set off on your journey. So that's that. You're gonna go off to Alera, go join the Horizon Walkers. Beehole or Madman Mega. Next we have you. You're kind of chilling out, watching your sheep and everything, doing what you do. And one of your shepherds kind of comes up to you and is like, hello, Beehole. Hello, Madman. I have a message from your wife. She would like to talk to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
No problem.
And please, again, just call me Mega. It's fine.
I'm very, very, very sorry. He's actually your shepherd that calls you Madman no matter what. You keep on telling him to call you Mega. He's just like, I can't do it. I'll try next time. Very sorry. So you go off, go see your wife. She says, I actually have some. You might want to sit down for this. Mega, I want to sit down. Get seated. I recently found out that my sister, who lives in Alera, is in a lot of trouble. And I owe her a great deal. She helped me out when I was younger. And she was always there for me.
I remember you calling.
Yes. And we will all be safe here. I know the first thing you're going to say is you're going to be worried that will we be safe on the shepherd farm? Yes, well, on the shepherd farm. On the sheep farm. We will be safe. You're very strong. You know your way around weaponry and fights when necessary, and I would like you to go and try and help out my sister, if at all possible, for the family.
Anything for you, sweetie.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful to hear. Thank you very much. The
If
group,
there's any trouble, just send a message to Mom.
of course,
She'll bring the rest of the orc raiders down to stand guard.
I will do that. Don't you worry. I'll make sure that Mom knows. Does your wife like her mother-in-law very much because she's an orc? Does the half-elf enjoy? It's a question to you. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Mostly because with Mega being a half orc and the wife who I didn't come up with a name for yet,
Yeah, sure.
being a half elf, they both kind of, society in general wasn't too keen on the half breeds, but
Okay.
they found happiness together. And with Mega's parents being a orc huntress, and then kind of a dotty human wizard who's kind of a recluse and lives in a tower far away from everybody else.
Yeah.
So he knows his parents well. They're happy, that he's happy, kind of thing. So while there is occasional tension with the extended family due to off-color jokes and such, everyone's pretty happy with the arrangement.
Gotcha. So yeah, she's very like, of course I will make sure to let Mom know if anything is amiss. There is a nice way for you to be able to get to Alera because you know, it's quite a long
Bit
boat
I hate to
ride.
walk.
Yeah, I we it's a very long way away. There's a group that actually could need your help called the Horizon Walkers. They are currently recruiting, and I think that's a really good way to get to the continent. Apparently, what I've been able to glean, I actually talked to one of them today. They are going to be helping out the elven community on Alera, which is where she lives. So I'd be very grateful if you do this.
Uh, okay.
I
suppose.
understand. I don't like dealing with my purely elvish half anyway. I'm not a big fan of it, but I know that you can do this. I believe in you.
Well, thank you. I suppose I'll get my stuff together. And when did you say they're leaving?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning?
It's
okay.
like noon? It's noon.
All right. Well, I'll get everything ready, and then we can watch the sheep in the south field.
Nice. Okay,
So
cool.
So I'll do
you-
that.
Nice. So you get your stuff together. You go wash the
Decision
sheep in the shop. But go on. Were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say, decision made. Let's do it.
Decision made. Cool. You watch the sheep in the south field for your last time for, who knows how long. Maybe it'll be a quick voyage. Maybe it'll be a short voyage. Who knows? These campaigns take like 2 sessions, right? Anyway. So next we have Stacy. It's like middle of the night. You have your book out. You're writing about all the stars in the constellation. Do you have any like other druids in your circle? Kind of? Or are you,
Kiva kind of runs solo,
Okay.
usually. She kind of just takes company with herself. She's not terribly social. Like, she knows a few other druids for sure, but like,
Gotcha.
yeah, but she's not like a part of a big group.
So as Kima is writing down the constellation, she's noticing something kind of interesting in the patterns. Something that she hasn't really ever seen before. Like, it's distressful almost. Normally you have like your normal star patterns that you kind of write down and see, but this is like there's a constellation of a dragon that seems to be destroying an entire land of people. There's a constellation of almost like a shadowy constellation of stars, which seems impossible, but it exists somehow. That just seems to be engulfing this series of land. And as you're kind of looking, other druid, you don't normally see other druids, but there is just one other druid kind of comes running up to you where they might know that you're looking at your stars, and is like, Kima, I'm very sorry, we don't normally try and bother you, but are you seeing this right now? Do you see these horrible figures in the sky?
I do. It's terribly distressing. I've never seen the sky this way.
I know it's crazy. I think we need to go talk to another druid, maybe try and get some of the more members of the circle and talk about this, see if we can kind of figure it out, unless you have any ideas of what it would be. I'm baffled. I don't know.
I have some intuitions. However, I think it would be wise to maybe consult with some others about this matter, as it appears to be of grave importance and gravity.
Okay, I will go grab some more members of the circle. We'll meet in our clearing that we kind of have. That we don't really meet in very often, but you know the clearing. We've been there from time to time.
Absolutely.
We will meet up there in just like 5 minutes. So, the young
The
druid,
rocks are-
young druid goes and grabs a bunch of people. Everyone's kind of in the circle talking about this. And one of the young druids specifically that came to talk to you was like, I actually also saw in the stars the name Alera pop up. Now, that's very odd because as far as we know, Alera's been doing okay, but maybe something bad is about to happen to Alera. And everyone starts like saying, well, yes, maybe it is. Maybe we don't know. And the chattering just keeps on happening, and no one seems to be really getting anywhere until an elder druid kind of walks out and is like, I think that the signs mean someone needs to go to Alera, possibly even all of us, and we need to see if we can stop this terrible tide. What does everyone think? I'll put it to a vote in a little bit, but I think we need to kind of, focus our chatter, because right now we're just kind of sounding like a gaggle of geese. Gaggle of geese.
Kiva's initial reaction is kind of like, I don't want to necessarily be involved in anything.
Yeah.
And especially like she is kind of more of a loner, and so she doesn't necessarily want to travel with other druids. That's like that kind of rains on her parade. But she is like very deeply concerned about this strange like astrological phenomenon that's happening. And so she's just going to quietly like stand up as the chatter kind of continues, and sort of just like calmly and just like announce that I will go to Alera and investigate this matter.
The elder druid looks kind of shocked because, he knows you. You're normally a very reclusive druid, and he's like, okay, I am surprised to see this has affected you in such a way that you're willing to kind of go and take care of this. I actually specifically know, I was honestly hoping that you might stand up, and I know of a specific group called the Horizon Walkers that you should be able to join. They're a little bit tighter knit. I was actually going to specifically suggest it to you if you wanted to. They're a smaller group of people, so hopefully that would help out. But apparently I don't need to actually convince you very much, that's fantastic. I am overjoyed. I would love to see you do that.
I mean, given what I've seen in the stars, this seems to be a matter most grave. And although my compatriots here seem to be very knowledgeable, I'm not sure that some of them have quite the same experience and would be able to handle this matter.
Some of them kind of like, they don't look super happy at that. The elder druid kind of
Totally fair.
looks the same, but also like gives you a little nod, like he's kind of agreeing but trying to do it stealthfully a little bit. Like,
yeah, Kiva is like very, very blunt about
Yeah.
things. She's just not gonna like sugarcoat shit.
yeah. So he kind of pulls you aside and it's like, okay, tomorrow, which actually will be pretty soon, judging by the moon, we will then set up on a voyage to become part of the Horizon Walkers and work your way to Alera that way and help out, find out what's happening, help out any way you can, please. This is deeply disturbing and I would like to see it. I'd like to see the situation rectified as soon as possible.
I will happily leave immediately.
Okay.
And she kind of just like turns and walks away as everybody is still just like chattering away. She's
Nice.
just like, later.
Peace out. Yeah, you
Kiva
start.
and Mega one great.
So you go get prepared, and then you go on the boat to join the Horizon Walkers. Last, we have Crealis. So, Crealis, is there a specific place where you are, like, in the moment that you... Like, are you in between groups of people at the moment?
Yeah.
Kind of traveling around
Yeah.
timidly, trying to find... Well,
Odds are, yes.
Yeah.
As much as possible.
okay. So... Let's say you have just found a new group of people, you're very timid around them, but they see an adorable owl and they're like, hey, let's try and help this owl as much as possible. It's been, a couple days. You're almost ready to leave because you don't know if you really want to be here. You still don't feel like you fit in, but you've enjoyed having a decent meal from time to time and having a little bit of consistency. So
That's the big draw, really.
Yeah. So one of though there's a nice family that's kind of keeping you. The father the father is actually a druid who's very knowledgeable about Aarakocrans. They actually understand who you are and what race you belong to. He's probably he's a human in his late 70s, so he's seen the world and a lot of stuff happen, good, bad, a lot of people. And this is at breakfast. The last couple of days, he seems to stare at you like he's trying to figure something out very often. And you don't like that at all, but he does kind of have the idea, and as he's sitting there, he looks and says, I know that face. I know it. I think I know who your parents are. I think I've met... Do you know who your parents are? I know, I know you. Well, I don't know you. I know your parents. I 100% do. Don't have to say anything. I understand. I get it. This is probably a lot. I know where you're from. I know that. And he's like doing the, like, wagging his finger, like, I know. And like the wife comes over and is like, honey, please stop. You're going to scare her off. Please.
She's like slowly like sliding
Yeah,
like further
yeah.
down the bench of the
Oh,
table.
no.
Yeah, and he doesn't realize that, but she's realizing that, and he's like, please stop. We're going to scare her off. Even if you know, she kind of looks at you and is like, I'm very sorry. He can get like this sometimes. He's seen a lot. He might have actually potentially seen an Eric Cochran that looks like you. I don't know. We never really asked, do you know where you're from?
What?
A home,
Ara what?
dear. A home. Eric Cochran. Do you know your race, dear?
I'm not from here. No.
Well, I mean, yes, of course. There's not very many Eric Cochran that live around here. I think the only reason that he knows and I know is because, like, he's told me so many stories. You don't know. That's so sad. It's just so sad that you don't know your parent. So they start to get into a little bit of a conversation as like she's like trying to
she's
calm
trying to
him
stay-
down. What?
Yeah, and she's trying to like stay as far away as possible, but also is trying to listen as much as possible.
Right.
Oh.
They're having a conversation about she's scolding him a little bit because he's being very forward, but she's also trying to like get the story out of him a little bit of what he knows and why he's just suddenly like, I know you. And you're hearing little words like very long time ago. They're like, you hear like long time ago and war, and the word Alara pops up and the word Horizon Walkers pop up. And you're just getting these little tiny bits and pieces from this conversation. And what you can kind of put together is that he was once a member of the Horizon Walkers who maybe was with your parent, maybe knew your parents at some point. You don't know because it's still little bits and pieces because they're also talking kind of fast and mildly angrily. The tone increases and decreases at a rate that, you know, it can get a little bit confusing. And so like the conversation kind of dies down and she turns to you and says, I think, do you want to know where you come from? Do you have any desire to know that? Because we might be able to help you.
If we can find where it is, yes, that would be nice. Yeah.
I think we can. We know of a way. How useful are you with... Do you carry any weapons on you at all?
How useful are you?
How useful are you? Such a big question.
According
How
to her, probably
useful.
no.
Do you carry any weaponry on you at all? Or do you just like have talons? Would she be able to see that you're a rogue in any way, shape, or form, or is that really not shown at all in your outfit?
I think I think she tries to, like, she's learned that having a visible weapon discourages certain behaviors, keeps her safer.
Gotcha.
So she does have I would say she has a short sword, like clearly visible. Yes.
Yeah. So then, rather than saying, are you useful? She looks at you and says, do you know how to use that sword?
Of course.
Then I think my
Not
husband
terribly
here...
convincingly.
My husband here, she doesn't notice that because she's so... At this point, she's very... very invested in getting you back to your parents. Or maybe to where you could find where you came from, that she's kind of in tunnel vision. She wants to get you to this place as quick as possible to try and get you to do your thing. So she says, I know of a way to get you to where my husband is saying he thinks he saw your parents, possibly, or maybe just your clan, maybe something to do with your past. And if you know how to use the sword, I believe you can join the Horizon Walkers. They're looking for recruits. And they're a smaller group. I can tell that you're very timid, and that's understandable. You know, you're probably going from place to place. She's a very blunt woman. She does tell her pretty much what she thinks. I can tell that you're very, very timid, and an army probably isn't good for you, but the Horizon Walkers are much more tight-knit. And they can get you to where your clan or parents might be.
The feathers are like a little like up.
Yeah.
If they can, if I could find where there are others, yes, I would like that.
Well, of course, dear.
Where are
Tomorrow morning there's a ship leaving. I actually happen to know, because of my husband being a member, a group of currently active, or at least one of the active Horizon Walkers. If you would prefer, we can, get you into the ship maybe more at night, so you don't have to deal with a lot of people. If that's kind of not a stowaway, but maybe get you a nice little bunk or something in the ship to kind of be away from others, or if that would...
She like nods, trying to pass it off as like, oh yeah, sure, yeah. But it's like agrees way too readily, sort of thing.
So yeah, we'll definitely do that for you, and yeah, we'll hopefully. I'm trying to think of a way for you to keep in contact with me, but you know what? I'm just gonna. If you ever have a time to send a letter, and she writes down her her address, because there really isn't an address, but she writes down any information you would need. Please tell me if you find your parents or your clan. She's very invested in you. Like,
what's
in
her
2
name?
days, her name is Emma. Emma, yeah, last name something. Emma. I'll think of a last name.
I put down Emma, last name.
There you go.
Best way to throw off a DM. What's their name?
What's their name? Thanks, Dans. Okay. So you take down the information. During the middle of the night, you go. She takes you to one of the Horizon Walker group, one of the leaders of the group there. They give you a nice little bunk, get you all set up by yourself, so that you should be all set, and you're off to the main island. And then you'll be off your way to Alera like everyone else. Everyone's gonna meet up. Horizon Walkers. Yay! So that's pretty much. I mean, actually, we can go a little bit further. So everyone
Can
come.
we meet one another?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go for. Is we're gonna meet everyone. I have you guys all essentially. The end of this should be you guys setting off for Alera. So everyone arrives in your specific boats and whatnot, and goes into the main city of me forgetting to write down a name for it. So I'll think of that as well.
Wow. Cities are named weird here.
Yeah, I know, right? Last name, city I forget the name down for. The Forgotten City.
Kind of long.
We're going to call it the Forgotten City because it's ironic, because it's
Perfect.
the main city that's
We're all
forgotten.
getting to the spot.
Yeah.
So how is this working? Is it like a giant port and all the ships are kind of coming in, or am I at one end of this city and everyone else is on another end, or are we all coming into the same spot with a giant welcome committee, or?
So there is a large
Lord.
port.
Welcome committee.
There's a large port where everyone kind of comes in, and on your way over, this was specifically a boat for the Horizon Walkers. You all were given instructions. You're gonna go over. When you see, let me pull up the
So we're boarding
description.
the ship to go to Alera. We're not getting off the ship at the spot.
Correct. You are boarding the ship to get to Alera from the Forgotten City.
So what
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out is if I'm talking loudly, if they potentially hear me. Are we
Potentially.
gonna be like
What are you
that
talking?
close?
What are you talking loudly about? With Giovanni there.
So like I'm up close to the ship, and I'm signing my life away to the Horizon Warriors or whatever. And I'm
Horizon
like, hey,
Walkers.
just wait. He's like,
Yeah.
so let me get this straight. If I sign this paper and I become a horizontal warrior, you're gonna help me find.
The person looks a little bit confused, but it's like the Horizon Walkers, and yeah,
I
actually, of course, he's a very green person. The person that is trying to it has the paper. This is his first couple of days probably doing this, so he's taken aback by your very loud and deep kind of tone. It's like, yeah, of course. When you sign up with us to go to Alera, you'll be able to find stuff to your heart's content. Whatever you want.
Anything I want,
Yeah.
like anything.
Sure. If you sign this sheet of paper, you can get whatever you want.
So at this point, I've already signed, but I'm making this comment as I'm handing the paper back. There was a lot of asterisks on that paper.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. You'll get there, and you'll get whatever you want.
I was like, what would he be looking for?
If you'd like to insight check this man, you are more than welcome to.
You gotta go find people, right?
He's got to go find the secret ingredient.
I know that. You know that. Everyone doesn't know that.
So, like I said, if you would like to insight check him, you are more than welcome to.
Not yet.
Okay. All of the recruiters seem kind of like this. Maybe not the most knowledgeable, but
Okay.
kind of like they're high on life. They're happy to be recruiting. They kind of got that, like that swept up in the army kind of thing going on almost.
Oh, do they have like MLM vibes?
Kind of, a little bit. Maybe not that crazy, but like
Maybe
kind
not
of.
that crazy, but like same energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would
Mega's
like
Mega's gonna ask, do you know where to find the elves?
Yes, actually, that's one of the main things you guys will be doing. He actually seems mildly knowledgeable about this. Like, this is maybe one of the things he was told. Yeah, yes.
Am I still around at this point?
Well,
Or am I on the boat now?
you're on the boat probably.
Okay.
I assumed I was like in line behind Spaguglio at this point.
Sure, you know what? You guys are all in line for the Horizon Walkers. You're all on the Forgotten City at this point. Spaguglio's first. Mega's second. We'll have Kaomi next, and then we'll have
Kiva.
Kiva,
So it's an
sorry.
Irish spelling.
Yeah,
It's
Kiva.
Definitely,
Kiva. It's
I'm
okay.
I need to remember the names.
If I'm around to hear that the main thing we're
Kima.
gonna do is find elves, I'm gonna have questions.
Kima and Crealis. So that's the order. With Crealis at the very end of the line, kind of a little ways back.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So this boat
Mega.
is gonna go where the elves are.
correct. And like the recruiter, he hears your what and is like, who have delicious ingredients. And he kind of like looks over at you.
Who cares about that?
I mean, do you care about? Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. This is
Do we get
he's
paid for this?
he's very visibly flustered at this point. Yes, you do get paid in the riches of Alera, potentially, and gold. Yeah, we're paying you gold as well. You can get paid for it.
Okay,
And I kind of squint a little
that
bit.
sounds good to Mega.
I'm about to walk like onto the boat because I feel like I'm past the threshold at this point.
You are actually, this is the point where you're walking off of the boat. You have already landed, Rufus. Spaguglio has landed.
Now?
No, you're
You've been on
in
the
the Forgotten
Right,
City.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I passed the threshold of wherever.
Yeah.
Like I've signed up and I've
Yeah.
passed it.
Yeah.
And I just look at him and I'm like, you better not be lying to me.
I would never lie to you. I would never lie to anyone. It's my job to tell the truth. He
As
gives you,
soon
like, a
as
small-
Kiva gets a hold of this contract, she is not impressed.
It's not an impressive
her-
contract.
No, she's like, this contract is ridiculous, and I will not sign it. You're
So
going to have to work on your wording because this is absolutely preposterous.
at this point, while I open up this document, a tall female wood elf with pale white skin, long silver hair closely, long silver hair, kind of on the messy side with a little bit of ponytail in the end, wearing a see-through eye patch, which looks kind of interesting, a long, flowing, intertwined black and white ranger's cloak, studded leather armor, studded leather pants, a quiver that looks like kind of a bag of holding, if you know what that is, with some runic markings on the back of it, and the bow, and a bow on her back that's a little bit ornate, kind of comes up, holds the hand of the recruiter, and is like, I don't know why they have you guys signed these. This is... Hello, my name is FaZe. I am the leader of the Horizon Walkers. This paper, you don't need to worry about signing it. It's from the leaders of the Forgotten City. It's supposed to be a dot your I's and cross your T's. I'm very sorry that they have you sign these. Honestly,
Yeah, I am a
Don't-
part of no formal organizations, and so I
I-
will not sign anything.
I fully understand. Don't worry about it. I will pull a little bit of strings. She kind of looks over specifically at Spaguglio, who looks kind of angry and is like, I don't worry about anything. We will make sure that you get what are you exactly looking for? A special ingredient? I overheard something about that.
I believe that is the gentleman up there.
No, sorry. She turned to Spagu. She kind of like looked. She was looking at the four of you in line at that point. So when she started talking to you, she also kind of looked to talk to Spaguglio at the same time,
Mhm.
kind of trying to address as a group almost. So yeah, when she kind of turns to Spaguglio and is like, "Were you looking for some form of ingredient?"
Keep it down.
What? Say that again. Cut out a little
Keep
bit.
it down.
Sorry. And she kind of goes to a whisper, and she kind of like goes up to you. She's like 6 feet tall, so she like kind of gets down and is like, "Sorry, what were you saying?"
Shut up.
Oh, I like.
I don't know if that was intentional, but the only thing we heard was "shut up."
Yeah, I think that was it.
That's all I said.
Okay. Beautiful.
She actually like gets back up and she lets out a really hearty laugh. Like, you know, I like you. You got a little spunk to you. I appreciate that. So yeah, I actually lead the band of people that I believe you four. She kind of looks in the back there, Crealis. You four will be joining. It's okay. It's just she
Leans up
looks
from behind the tree she's next to.
and FaZe kind of like walks over, does the same thing she did to Spaguglio because you're a pretty short owl, and kind of gets down and is like, "And what might your name be?"
I'm Crealis.
It's a lovely name. Lovely name indeed. We're very happy to have you here. Just a heads up so everyone knows this is pretty much the four people you'll be working with. No, specifically, and she does look at you, Crealis, again. So no worries, it's not going to be a
anxiously at very large people.
yeah. So she's trying to make
yeah,
herself as
Kiva is
small as
very
possible, but
tall.
yeah. Everyone else is very
Visibly
tall.
unimpressed that I have to work with other people.
She like gives you, since you're looking, so I guess as she's like looking around, she sees your unimpression and just kind of like gives you a little, like a smile again. Like she's kind of writing everything off a little bit. She's just kind of taking it in, and as calmly as possible. And she's like, so don't worry. You'll all get to know each other very well, and specifically, it's just the four. I also heard a little bit about druid that probably doesn't like groups that much as well. Specifically, the keen-eyed druid that knows how to read a contract that I wish I never had to have anyone sign.
It's your
be
fault
fun.
you wrote it in common. If you didn't want anyone to read it, you should have written it in a more obscure language.
You know, that's actually very smart. I'll have to get back to the drawing board on that one. You just gave me a very good idea. Thank you very much. And what might your name be?
Kiva Fear.
Kiva Fear. Okay. And she kind of turns to Mega and is like, I heard talk of wanting to find the elves. Is that
Yes.
something? Well, that's fantastic. We will be.
I have to find my sister-in-law.
Oh, okay. What is your name? Or I guess since it's sister-in-law, what is your wife? Well, you actually don't know that, so I'm not going to ask you that. That'll be for later. She'll just ask you what your name is then. What is your name?
My name is Mega. Madman Mega.
Madman Mega. Very happy to have all of you here. It's like kind of a nice ragtag group of people. And I don't mean that in any bad way at all. I
assure you, there's nothing ragtag about my work. I am here as a professional.
Of course. Of course.
I have never seen a bird carry a sword before. That's incredible.
Well, you will all see things that you may never have expected to see in your entire lives.
Head
she kind of
sinks into
she kind
shoulders.
of leans over to Mega and whispers in Mega's shoulder. I wouldn't point out much about her. She seems very timid. That's one of the things I was told. Try and make sure that she feels invited, but don't make her feel scared, please.
Gotcha. He'll look right at Trialis. I'm sorry, I didn't notice you. Look at-
Faze just kind of like puts her hand in her head and shakes it a little bit and just kind of like shakes it off and is like, okay, if you four will follow me, we are going to get everyone kind of acquainted and get everyone kind of debriefed. I hate that word. Essentially just we're going to explain the situation to everyone. So
Meet
follow
and
me.
greet,
Yeah.
Meet and
that
greet.
kind of thing.
Yeah, and she walks off. You
As
city-
Kiva is like following, she just like stares up into the sky like she's begging the stars to take her away. She's like, I don't like this.
So yeah, this city is also pretty massive. It is the Forgotten City, which I will change the name of at some point. But it is the Forgotten City.
Once you remember.
Yeah, once I remember. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah.
Um,
Forget.
but it's massive. It's the hub of pretty much everything. The entire world is ruled mainly by a gigantic council from multiple continents. It's weird how it is. Essentially, when a continent is considered developed enough, it is given a seat on the World Council, and all of the members of the World Council like kind of choose what happens from the Forgotten City, which is like this massive kind of upscale city. You are going to be part of the Horizon Walkers, which you already know. But yeah, as you kind of walk through, it's pretty citified. To some of you, this is very scary. To some of you, you really don't care because you've lived in, Little Italy your entire life and people are shouting everywhere and you're like, cool, this is fine. But like there are multiple different sized buildings, some massive, some a little bit on the smaller side. You kind of walk through and look, FaZe actually goes to the back of the line and one of a half-orc dressed similar to FaZe kind of walks up to kind of show you guys the way forward. FaZe specifically tries to like stand behind Crealis and kind of push her forward a little bit because she's noticing that Crealis is like looking around and probably a little bit dart-ish because of everything that's happening. You guys all make your way to like, it's not really a barracks. You specifically make your way towards more of an inn. The FaZe goes, the leader, the person who's leading you, goes up to the bar, orders a round of drinks. You guys all find your way to a table at the inn. Everyone sits down.
Sorry, the person leading us is the half orc.
Yes.
Okay.
So he goes and grabs drinks for the table. Everyone sits down. He grabs the drinks, comes back, and FaZe kind of leaves off. I know I completely almost forgot to introduce. This is Greg, the half orc. He is my right-hand man. That's pretty much enough said. He's kind of traditional in the sense that he is I wouldn't say brutish, and Greg kind of looks a little bit kind of it's almost a joke that goes back and forth between them. She calls him brutish. He'll, go back. It's like the half, the elf orc kind of back and forth. But yeah, first off, I imagine you all have lots of questions. Is there anything specifically on your mind before I tell you anything? So I go
just
into my speech.
I've never seen another elf orc marriage before. That's great.
We are not married, but we get that a lot. It's yeah,
My bad.
it's fine. It's fine.
Mega's gonna say in Orcish to the orc. So, what's your orc name? He's Madman Mega, but he just calls him Mega. So he's like, well, yeah, you're Greg, but what's your orc name?
Well, to be honest, my it's just Greg at this point. That's honestly what my parents named me. They didn't give me a specific orc name or anything. I just kind of taken Greg. I like it, actually, to be completely honest. So I just said, screw it, let's go with it.
Well, we'll have to have some fun. Get you a moniker.
Sure.
Oh my God.
Maybe. Sure. You know what? Yeah, he looks a little bit discomforted by it because he likes the name Greg. He likes Greg, but at the same time, he's open to the idea almost of maybe adding a name or two. So yeah, does
So I'm still a little unsure about this whole contract shit. Is the food included or not? Because I didn't see that. And
the
it's
food
gonna influence what I order.
the food is included. Don't worry. Spaguglio, is it? Spaguglio?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the food is included. Don't worry. Order whatever you want. It's on the house. She seems almost visibly tired because she's had people say this maybe from time to time. Do the whole she knows what's gonna happen if the food is included, but she lets it happen anyway.
I was pretty open about what was about to happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Is the food included? Because I'm gonna order the most expensive thing on the menu.
Definitely.
Any other more pressing questions other than is the food included? Anything from anyone?
Still unclear whether we have to sign a contract or not sign a contract.
You don't.
What if we already signed a contract and then we were told we didn't? What happens to the contract that we did sign? And do we have to not sign another contract later?
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit late this morning. I was supposed to talk to the recruiter about not having you sign contracts, because this is not just the general army you're going into. This is something a little more specific.
Yeah.
So the only one of us who has to be here is that guy. He points out. Yeah.
Sure, I guess. Honestly, and she actually, she pulls the contract that you had from this morning out of like a pouch. I actually meant to do this earlier, and she kind of shreds it up and kind of puts it off to the side. That's no contracts. This is not why we're here. We're here for various reasons, I imagine. Because I don't think that 4 people just want to go to Alera and join an army for whatever. I
honestly didn't realize I was joining an army.
Okay, an army is a bad word. You did, though? That's surprising. Why did you want to join?
You guys all like to talk a lot, and I listen to about half of the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Okay.
And about half of those actually get committed to memory, so... We're
sure.
looking at like
I guess
if my math is right.
I probably wouldn't describe it as an army, as like just a, I guess maybe an army. It's a small group. We're a very small group. Whenever I think army, I think of like massive. For those of you who don't know, the Horizon Walkers are kind of the scouts. We are the first deployment of the Forgotten City, name TBD. The Forgotten City Army, the Army of the World, they call themselves. They're between you and me, they're a little bit on the propaganda heavy side. I'm not a big fan of it, so you won't be hearing that much from us. We solely exist to help the people and also we know that everyone that comes in has our own agendas and whatnot, and we try and help you fulfill those as necessary. But not a lot of people know that Alera is actually under a pretty good amount of turmoil. They do a very good job of hiding it, and we actually had
Oh,
our...
I am well aware that Alera is in danger.
Interesting. How did you know?
It has been written in the stars.
You read the star.
Absolutely, I do. That is my sole purpose for being here.
That could be...
She says that Mega's going to look up.
It's been in the stars for a couple of days now. I'm shocked that some of you have not seen it.
Not
Hi.
actually written in the stars, you big oaf.
It actually, believe it or not, Spaguglio, things can be written in the stars.
Not literally.
How do you know?
One of these days, maybe I'll have to show you.
When is the last time you looked up at the stars and you saw words?
Maybe a
Yeah,
year or
it's
two
weird.
ago,
You-
actually, to be
Peering
honest.
curiously up at the sky, gliding behind everyone.
Well, at least one of you know. So the rest of you, Lara is in a lot of danger. The continent has been under duress. A great and powerful being was recently resurrected. We have an army group plus some adventurers that are out there currently trying to deal with it. And then, to top everything off, another very powerful being that we don't know a lot about is kind of essentially wreaking havoc on the other half. So the way Alera is it's like a horseshoe with the Aleran city in the center, which is the capital. You have half of it. It's really in a lot of distress. It's actually terrible when I think about it. And she kind of like gazes off for a little bit, and then she kind of snaps back to it. Half of it is under attack by a resurrected dragon, and half of it is under attack by a... Well, we don't know. It's just a figure cloaked in shadow. Which, yeah. That's the elves, by the way, that are under attack by the shadow, which is what you'll be dealing with. But don't worry, we're not just going to throw you at a powerful being. We're actually going to, get you into the army, get you into the Horizon Walkers, and like teach you the ropes. We don't expect you to ever really confront the shadow. We just could use... So we're a lot of rangers, mostly. And being rangers makes organizing and helping militia of certain towns groups very hard because we sit in the back. And a lot of the militia think that some of us are wimps for sitting in the back. So we could use essentially, not right off the bat, of course, I cannot stress this enough. You will be kind of a mixed group of people that'll be kind of leading certain militia army against the shadow. Militia groups, not militia army. But that is a ways from now. Our plan is to have you guys get dropped off in Alera, go to Alera, and then Greg here. I'm going to go off and probably have to do some other things, but Greg here will kind of show you the ropes. He'll teach you how to do things, kind of get you introduced to the Horizon Walkers. And don't worry, we specifically will help the elves. Potentially, if we can find... We'll put out a word, because we are scouts. We're pretty good at, finding things about your wife's sister. Crealis, you haven't talked much, but... what exactly... I don't really have a guess. What are you looking for, exactly?
I'm just looking for others like
Okay.
me.
Well,
Mhm.
If you do want to ever tell me anything specific, if you know anything, which you might not, we can just look for people like you. There are other Eric Cochrans that look similar. So, yeah, we'll definitely help out with that. And, yeah, anyone's specific needs, of course. Anything specifically, she kind of looks at Spaguglio. Whatever you told me to shut up about, if you want to ever tell me about that, we can look for it for you at some point.
Listen, you've done a lot of talking, and my heart really goes out to you. but I don't understand how any of this is affecting the service of the restaurant. We've been waiting for like an hour and a half.
That's a great question. Greg, would you like to go grab some food? Actually, what does everyone want? She hands you a menu of various meats and cheeses and different alcoholic beverages and fish, because it's also a port city, because why not? And
Are
yeah,
there
you have
pictures?
yes, there are indeed pictures. There's like one, well, they're drawings because photo, you can't actually take there's no cameras, but there's like a really elaborate drawing of like a mutton flank, just like really well colored done by a really good artist. There's also a like lobster tail platter that's like colored in and just looks fantastic. There's just various, there's like also a drawing of chicken, there's a drawing of just regular beef, all that kind of stuff.
So Spaguglio is going to order whatever he thinks would be a test of somebody's culinary skill. Regardless of how expensive it is or what the dish is, whatever he thinks would be the biggest showing of what this restaurant could give him is.
Beef
The lob-
Wellington.
Yeah, actually, there is a beef Wellington that is on the menu. It is actually called the House Special Beef Wellington, specifically what they're most known for, apparently.
That's definitely what Spaguglio will order. He'll be like, I have the beef Wellington.
Okay, so
I got pointed at the mutton shank. He's like, I would like 3 of these.
that's sure. It's on the house. Well, on us, but it's fine. Anything you want.
Kiva looks at the menu and is very just like turned off, and she just said, "I will just have a bowl of root vegetables, please. None of this fancy thing."
We can do that. They can definitely do that here. And Krialis, anything?
Is there like small woodland creature on the menu?
There's like
What are you looking for? Like a ferret?
I don't know, mouse, rabbit,
there's no
shrew.
Shrew.
there is
I
rabbit.
feel like for,
There
as
is
far as
like
owls are
cooked
concerned, like,
rabbit. There's
the
no like
crab equivalent is hedgehog.
yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
There is a rabbit. There's a little bit of rabbit on the menu. It's
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So just rabbit.
There's rabbit. Well, do you want it any specific? Like, do you just want it raw, or do you actually want it cooked? I don't know how Krialis, if she normally eats food.
Cooked food is kind of a luxury.
Okay.
So I think if it's like she sees, oh, actually no. So I see there's some rabbit. How is it? Is it cooked?
It is. It is indeed cooked.
Then could I get that?
Sure, 100%. And
Okay.
you notice that Greg's been writing everything down too. Goes up to the bar, he orders everything. Maybe 20-ish minutes pass. It's kind of crowded, but it's not like super packed, so they can get everything done in a reasonable amount of time. 20 minutes pass. Greg comes out. Greg specifically, the half orc, comes out carrying a tray. Like, the man's a master at this, apparently. One hand, he puts everything, all the plates down in front of everyone properly, puts it away. Spaguglio, specifically in front of you, is I'm gonna roll for this because I'm kind of curious.
How good the beef Wellington is.
It's not exactly as good as you'd expect. It rolled an 8, so like
Ooh.
it's slightly sub-average from what. So you were expecting something very high because it's the big
Yes, they're
thing.
house
It did
special.
not
I-
meet your expectations.
I need you to know that what I'm about to say, I was going to say no matter what you roll.
Well, of course.
He takes like the tiniest bite and he's just like, it's shit. He pushes it back. And he's just like, we don't serve shit like this at the Salty Tusk.
He just kind of looks at you and is like, I must have to go there at some point then, because that must serve the best food around.
It does.
Is there anything else I can get you by chance, or is that it?
I mean, a pail to vomit in would be very convenient.
You hear Greg kind of laugh a little bit in the back and kind of almost be like, I like this guy a little bit. He's kind of cool.
Are the drinks included? I'll have a drink.
Yeah, I mean, you already have a drink in front of you. Greg already got around you. If you want another one, that's totally fine as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. So you can get another drink. Everyone else's meal seems pretty decent.
And mine
Megan-
was.
Mm.
Megan's gonna spear a piece of the beef Wellington and eat it. Like, I don't think it's shit. It tastes like beef to me.
You uncultured swine.
Oh, it's
Oh
my
my goodness.
Cultured swine butt. Got it.
Kiva has just kind of like, she just has like a simple bowl of like various root vegetables. And she's like, while all of this has gone on, she kind of just pulled out her star chart again to like re-examine her notes.
Yeah.
She's just very like in her own little world when it comes to all this.
How obvious is it that you're doing that?
Oh, in like way too obvious. Like
Okay, so,
she
like-
very much just like has her star chart in her big beefy Goliath hand and is like scooping vegetables in the other. Like she is
Like-
not being
I look at Mega and I'm like pointing at the book. See, look, no words. It's all pictures and shit.
I know
She
that one.
says, "Excuse me, this is a very intricate and refined art. Thank you very much."
Are we on a balcony or are we inside? Are
You're
we
inside.
inside or are we eating outside?
So essentially, the inn is, you have your bar. You have to the left of the, like right across from the bar is like a little sunken in area, and then a giant like room. It's like 2 or 3 steps down, and then giant
Oh,
room with a
I
bunch of
can't
tables.
see the stars.
No, not from where you are.
Oh,
It's also like daytime.
Yeah, it is daytime right
Like I can't see the stars. I'm just studying my charts.
oh, right.
Megan's gonna look.
I'm just like gazing up into the heavens.
Megan's gonna crane his neck up and look over. He's like, you kind of points at it. He's like, I know that one. That's the Great Ram constellation.
now. Is it the Great Ram constellation?
Correct. This one is called Aries.
Nice.
See, look, it's a fucking goat.
She kind of again gazes up into the heavens, like, why? Why?
I-
He's also doing his best to not look at Crealis, but he can't like help but look at her out of the
Right,
corner of his
he
eyes.
was told.
Crealis is like nibbling at the food. The entire like 20 minutes of waiting for the food. Like, you know how they say, have your head on a swivel? Well, being an owl,
You
it's
can.
quite literal. So her head is like
God,
turning,
dude.
turning, like just trying to keep an eye on everything
Aw.
because we're inside like enclosed space.
There's like an okay crowd too, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's and then when the food comes, that like lessons only in as much as okay, bite, look, okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you guys eat your food, do all your that's a shit thing, and the back and forth, and yeah, all the food is eaten, the plates are taken away. FaZe kind of looks at all of you and is like, hope everyone kind of understands a little bit better what we're doing. We're just trying to stop a pretty terrible evil. But once again, and I cannot stress this enough, we will not be throwing you at that evil. We will be specifically training all of you. I understand that you might be scared that could happen and that something might be, because it is rather dangerous, but I just want to make sure you guys all know. We'll make sure everything's okay.
Kiva, she's not gonna like voice this, but she's very much like training my ass. Like they can't teach me shit. Like this is all just a bunch of bull crap.
Yeah.
But she like keeps this inside. She like does not want to start a conflict, but she is very much just like, this is ridiculous. There had to have been another way. But like this is what she's got. So she's just like silently, very silently, just like brooding.
Yeah, gotcha. So you all kind of Faisal directs you to where you'll be sleeping. It's actually like the upper floors of the inn. She gets everyone rooms and everything like that, and says tomorrow we will be setting out for Alera. We'll do like it's just 2 days boat ride, so we can go over basic combat and whatnot, so that everyone makes sure everyone can like swing a sword, essentially do a little bit of that kind of trading. Essentially fill in any gaps that I might have left out by accident of what you might need to know. As far as I know, I've covered everything, but we have 2 days to make sure everyone's rock solid on their information, and yeah, everyone have a great night's sleep, or as good a night's sleep as you can have. And she
Is
kind
there
of walks
any
out.
chance that the bed is for Mega?
The bed is what?
Is there any chance that the bed is big enough for Mega?
She does actually set you up with the king size suite specifically for Mega, or for any, yeah.
Well, for us
Excellent.
tall folks,
Oh, for everyone tall.
definitely
So
gonna need
for
a
everyone
bigger
tall.
bed. But
um,
Eva doesn't really care. She's used to sleeping on the bare ground. So.
Gotcha.
You say I like to imagine.
She's
that
not
we
gonna
all
make
have
a
huge
mention
room
of
with a
like
huge bed
bed
and a
size.
king
Yeah.
She's
kitchen.
gonna take whatever she gets.
So we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
Mega and Kiva are
That's
in
king size bed.
king size bed, and then we have Spaguglio and Crealis have like little small little twins. But like to both of you guys, they're like king size beds essentially.
She's so little.
Does Crealis sleep in a bed at all, or is she normally? Would she be more comfortable like?
She
I
like
actually don't know.
she would like
I feel like a bed's like a nice
sit
luxury.
on the bed,
Okay.
like perch on the bed.
Right.
Okay. Softer than a tree.
Makes sense.
Aw.
Like on the bedpost almost, just like chill out on the little bedpost.
Yeah, like a little
Yeah.
gargoyle. Yeah.
Aw.
Do we all have our own rooms, or are all these like in like kind of a big bunk area?
They're all separate rooms. There is like a big common area, but there's upstairs, but they're all separate rooms.
Yeah. Kiva kind of uses her bed to just like spread out her charts. Because it makes like a nice faux, like wide
It's
faux
just
table.
a large desk.
Yeah,
It's
I bet
just
it's
a
a
large
giant
desk.
desk.
It's just a large, cushy desk. So she like lays out all of her charts. And even though since this is like a big city, even though she probably can't see the stars very well, because like big city, light pollution,
Right.
yay, fun.
Yeah.
She's not happy about that. She will still like study all of her notes that she's taken and stuff. So she is gonna go to bed at like the very last possible minute, because that's just how she always does. She just like is not very good at sleeping during the night.
Nice. Gotcha. Everyone else get to bed okay? Everyone else
Oh yeah,
kinda like
Spagoogly,
calm
I
down.
wasn't gonna have any more crap going on today. He
no
was
more
just-
shenanigans tonight.
He's just
No more
like,
shenanigans.
finally quiet.
Mega's used to going to sleep when the sun goes down, so he's like, whatever.
It's like a little bit past that at this point because you guys have all had your conversation. It actually took a good amount of time to kind of get you guys all briefed. And yeah, it's nighttime. It's that time. So yeah, everyone's asleep. You all wake up in the morning. There's no like alarm or anything. No one really comes to wake you up. Y'all just kind of mosey out of bed and down to the inn. FaZe is there to meet you with Greg. They essentially everything kind of goes as normal. You guys head out to the docks, and you're all going to be on your boat to Alera, which is where we will pick up in session 1.
Woo! Yay!
Yeah, to go save a town, but also not because you're training.
It's definitely not an
To
army.
save a town later.
Wink, wink.
Later.
Eventually.
The
At some
non-army.
point. At the non-army. Which is not an army,
Yes,
but
the
is
not
an army.
army.
It's
Mega
not
would
an
like
army,
to
but
know-
it might be a cult.
Well, air quotes. There's no contracts
The
formally.
wonderful land of Alera.
Mm-hmm.
Are there sheep on this boat?
Is there what?
Are there sheep on this boat?
Oh dear.
No, it's more. There's no livestock on the boat. Everything as far as food goes is like dry. Yeah. Also, like everything as far as
Hardtack and
food
biscuits.
goes is like, yeah, pretty much that. There's a bunch of non-sea water as well. Plus, there are some magic casters that also would know
Oh.
create and destroy water. Like, yeah, there's
That's no problem for somebody in the party.
right.
Mega's gonna find an out of the way place and work on his knitting.
Nice. I like it. Okay, cool. Well, that's session 0. Setting us up.
Yay!
Next,
Thanks so much.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming out. It's a lot
Be
of
a
fun.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
Does Mega knit like
Socks. Do you knit socks?
do socks? Do you knit like night masks for light sensitivity?
Oh.
I can try.
Okay,
you-
because if you do, then we can say that when you put that on and go to sleep at night, you've pulled the wool over your own eyes.
For sure now. Yeah, definitely.
Dids.
And on that note, good night, everybody. So yeah,
Oh, Dids got the final word and the final pun.
of course. So yeah, next one will be on the 7th, I believe. So that'll be not next Sunday, but the Sunday after. Same time,
Yeah.
7:30. We'll
Exciting.
actually dive into the story, like right in. There'll be combat, there'll be role play, there'll be everything. Yay.
Woo. Fun stuff.
Yeah. Okay. You guys on stream, I'll have a
Okay.
great rest of your night. I will see you all around.
Are we gonna do this? Are we
Yes,
gonna do
we're
the,
gonna-
the subscriber draft?
Yeah, we're gonna switch over to that afterwards, but not on stream.
Okay.